Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's video. My name is Jordan Albertson. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today I will be talking a little bit about the Burning Crusade Classic version and some investments you can make right now during Phase 6 to make insane gold. So let's get into it. First off, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jordan. I'm 21 years old and I'm an actor, model, photographer, currently residing in LA, originally from a small town in Michigan. I've been playing World of Warcraft since I was about 7 years old, so damn near 14 years. I originally played with my parents on the Alliance, and they stopped playing right towards the end of Wrath of the Lich King, and I stopped playing in Pandaria. I'm sure you guys don't blame me. But I picked it up in Battle for Azeroth and played into Legion a little bit just so I could get a good scope of the Demon Hunter, and then got drenched in WoW Classic. So let's get into why you guys are here today. Why are these items that I'm about to list so valuable, and how do I know that they're solid investments? Well, TBC introduces a profession meta, which basically means that professions are going to be significantly more powerful than they currently are. Whereas in Classic WoW, you might see most people that are seriously devoted to the game playing engineers, just for that little bit of a difference when it comes to PvP or PvE damage. In TBC, you will see a lot of leatherworkers for Drums of Battle, which I will link now. Obviously, this buff is detrimental when it comes to raiding in pre-nerf TBC. It is also a huge deal when it comes to hardcore PvP. On top of leatherworkers, jewel crafting is also introduced in the Burning Crusade. Jewel crafting takes those useless gems that we have right now and turns them into rings, necklaces, or gems that can be equipped into socketed armor for a boost in a variety of stats. Why do I bring this up? Well, we know that demand for those products that it takes to level leatherworking and engineering and other professions are going to rise. Everyone's going to want to get to 375 in their profession, so it's done. What I intend on doing is teaching you guys how to buy low right now for copper on the gold and turn it into insane gold come the pre-patch and the launch of TBC. The first step is buying low and selling high. I recommend purchasing items when they are cheap, even relative to the cost right now, which is going to be significantly lower than the cost in the pre-patch and the launch, and sell them in the pre-patch or launch when the prices start to rise and the demand is high. I also recommend focusing on safe investments. Gems and ores are going to be the most solid. Ores you can have the opportunity to turn into bars, prospects for gems, or just sell as ores. I know a lot of people are going to be super excited about prospecting, and I think ore sales are going to go through the roof. Additionally, I recommend buying in large quantities. There may be a gold cap for the transfer switch, so if you're hoarding gold, I recommend starting to spend right now. And if your coin purse has already been lightened, so to say, run GDKPs or farm gold however you prefer. The higher investments will increase your profits, but can also increase your losses. That's why I recommend focusing on safe investments like leatherworking, jewel crafting, and even tailoring past the point of 300. So there are a lot of recipes in current professions that can still level your skill level come the Burning Crusade, such as Mooncloth Badges for tailorers. So you may have to do a little bit of research on what your profession needs to level those specific recipes into TBC, but if you do that research and if you find the materials that you need, I'm willing to bet that they're going to be a safe investment for TBC because numerous people will be interested in leveling their professions as well. I'm also going to recommend a couple of add-ons. The first being Auctioneer, which helps track the values of items in-game and is super important. I'll show you guys a clip of it in just a second. Bagon, which is a different interface for badges, which I personally could do without, but there is an incredible auto-clean feature that helps organize your materials, and when you are investing a lot of gold into all these different materials and you have a variety of bank alts, it is an incredible add-on. It also lets you check your other tune's badges and gold without switching characters, if you can wrap your head around that. Bean Counter is actually part of Auctioneer, but I felt the need to mention it because it specifically tracks successful and unsuccessful auctions, which is very important when you are investing in a large sum of materials. Now, if you don't have a 60, if you're fresh into Classic, preparing for the Burning Crusade, so Illidan is wrong and you are prepared, I recommend Gathermate 2. It's the most customizable add-on that I'm aware of for gathering, and it shows all possible locations for nodes, herbs, treasure chests, and even more. Like, if you're a rogue who's trying to level his lockpicking skill, you can find practice lock boxes. That's how specifically customizable this add-on is. I can't recommend it enough. Now that you have your base add-ons for farming and for reselling, auctions, and investing your materials, let's get into what specific materials I recommend investing in for the pre-patch and launch of TBC. Now, as a disclaimer, these are not all the items that will increase dramatically in value come TBC. This is just a small list, but this is what I've been focusing on, particularly in the last couple of months. I'll start from the top left and work my way down to the bottom right. Our number one is blue sapphires. These guys are selling incredibly on my realm for about 40 gold a pop. A lot of the jewel crafting tutorials are going to tell you to use about 40 blue sapphires. However, that is not what I recommend, just due to the sheer expensiveness of the material itself. Secondly, we have star rubies. These guys usually rock around 50 to 75 silver, and I think that they're going to be worth around 1 gold 25 silver to 1 gold 50 silver come the pre-patch and launch. Next, we have shadow gems. For shadow gems, tiger's eye, malachite, copper ore, and tin ore, I recommend them almost as a penny investment. They're not going to cost you guys much now, but you're also not going to have an insane return, so the only way I could imagine having a large amount of profit from these items is by using copper ore and tin ore to make bronze bars, or by buying in a massive quantity. I think I have about 1,000 malachite and tiger's eye on all of my investment tunes so far. Next to the shadow gem on the right is tiger's eye, followed by citrine. These guys are a little bit more expensive, but have a high chance of going up just as well. Large opals are next on the list, followed by malachite. Finally, the final one on the top row is mossagate. These guys are going for about 85 silver to a gold each right now, and I think that they will work their way up to 2 gold for certain periods of time. Starting on the very far left on the second row, I have silver bars, followed by gold bars. Now, these I recommend buying as bars and not ores, because most of the jewel crafting recipes require the bars. So the ores aren't going to be prospected, the bars are going to be what is the big money maker. Following the gold bar is black vitradol. I probably said that wrong. This is actually one I'm super excited for. It is very cheap right now. I'm getting them for about 9 to 15 silver a pop, and I expect that they will go up greatly, because if you are leveling jewel crafting without using blue sapphires, this is one of the materials you will need. Next is moonstone. These guys are rocking anywhere from 25 silver to 50 silver, and I believe they'll be up to about a gold come the pre-patch. Next to lesser moonstones are aquamarine. These are used not only in jewel crafting, but also in the enchant minor speed increase to boots, which is best in slot for leveling, raiding, PvP, most things that I'm aware of. So these guys are probably going to go up in price as people create more alts and need more enchants for their boots to level quickly. Also, fun fact, it has been debated for a long time what the speed increase is, and I believe Blizzard is on record stating that it is 8% faster. Next on the list is Azerothian diamonds. Now these guys are going to get very expensive. I was buying them for around 4 to 5 gold each, and now my realm already is up to about 15 gold. So these are going to be one of the heavier investments, but you stand to make a lot of gold. Same with the huge emerald, which are the very far right on the second row. These guys are also super expensive right now, but I only see the price going up as they are a rarer gem, similar to Azerothian diamond. Between Azerothian diamond and the huge emerald is jade. These guys are significantly cheaper right now than they will be. They're about 20 silver a pop on my realm, but I'm expecting them to go anywhere from 50 silver to 75 silver, absolutely, if not more. Starting on the third row in the far left, we have true silver bars. Now, I recommend buying these before true silver ore, for the same reason as the silver and gold bars. The bar is going to be worth a little bit more money because that is what the jewel crafting recipes require, not the ores. However, I am saving up a few of the ores. I don't know why. I have this weird gut feeling that a few people are definitely going to be prospecting the true silver ores just to see what they get out of it. Next up, we have thorium ore, the blue guy, third in the third row. This is going to be your bread and butter. This is going to be one of the most demanded items come the pre-patch and launch of TBC because it is the highest level ore that I'm aware of, and it is going to lead to a massive amount of competition over this. So buying now, no matter what the cost is probably a good bet. I usually try to buy them for less than 3 to 4 gold a stack of 10, which I know is pricey, but I still expect it to just around double. I will absolutely be making a profit whether I sell in bars or ores or I prospect them for the higher level gems, which are obviously going to have a higher demand as well. The same is true for the next couple of ores. We have mithril, followed by tin ore. The shiny one with the red underlay is dark iron ore, followed by iron ore. All of these guys are going to be solid investments that I definitely think are worth the gold, worth the wait, and you guys will have a good time making a lot of money unloading these. Next is elemental earth. This is realm specific, but on Benediction I have been seeing a lot of people farming elemental earth and the price has been going down because the supply is going up, so I've been buying a few just to hold on to TBC and unleash them when the market is right. On the very bottom row on the far left, we have coarse stone followed by heavy stone. These are going to be used to make defenders in jewel crafting, which are going to be used to make very, very cheap skill points. So a lot of people are going to be buying these. I think these are a solid bet, and they're usually very, very cheap come classic, unless you're in a realm with a lot of twinks and engineers. That is a possibility. They might be a little higher, and the investment might not be as worth it, but for most of us, I think that they're going to be a solid investment. Now, you can see I only linked heavy leather here. All leathers are going to be a great investment if you are getting them below your current market price. Now, there are already people trying to manipulate the markets, raising the average prices for these guys, but I promise you they will be worth it. Even if Blizzard does wind up nerfing the drums of battle, I think that leatherworking is going to be a solid investment for TBC. Next, I have iron bar, followed by bronze bar, mithril bar, tin bar, and copper ore. Copper ore, again, falls into the ore category. Now, the bars, I don't recommend buying unless you get a great deal, but bronze bar is going to be one of the ones that is going to increase in price significantly. I think that mithril will go up, but bronze bar has to be smelted, and that's going to take time that a lot of the power levelers and the people who are very serious about TBC aren't going to have. So if you have an alt that can make some bronze bars out of some copper ore and tin ore, I highly recommend doing it, because right now on Benediction, which is my realm, I play on the Horde, it's a PvP server, copper ore is about anywhere from 25 silver a stack of 10 to 75 silver a stack of 10. And tin ore is usually about the same, but you can sell bronze bars for more than it takes to make them, even in Classic. So I have a feeling that this growth will be exponential come TBC. Other notable mentions are Mooncloth, which is going to be necessary for Mooncloth badges, which allow tailors to get up to 330 come TBC. Ironweb Spider Silk may also have a spike in price. I've noticed that it typically does in just about every phase. And finally, Arcanite bars for delicate Arcanite converters. And now that we have our material list, which you can see I have one of in my badge, so I can quickly just shift and click and pull up the material. I also wanted to point out with these add-ons, you can see a little blue number or a red number next to the item being sold. Now this is the price in relation to the average market price. So you can see that large opals and tiger's eye are already going up. Same with malachite, and mossagate is relatively cheap. Now I recommend buying just about anything that is 50% or less what the market price typically is. Now if it's cheap like these and they're about 50 silver or less, obviously it's not a huge deal, but I highly recommend using these add-ons to tell what is the best time to buy and focus on when the best time to sell is, because you will see these numbers of the average market price continue to increase. When they increase and you feel confident that you have made a profit and you are ready to get out of the casino before you trap out, that is when I highly recommend selling. Me personally, I will be selling come the pre-patch, I will be selling come the launch, and I will also save a little bit of those materials for after the launch, when the characters that I've just picked up come TBC's launch start to reach level 70 and focus on professions. You can also see that I have a couple of Zolian coins in my bads. I think that these are going to increase in price because people will use them to get a little bit of XP to get a head start on other people competing for world first level 70s. Supposedly, you can use coins if you have enough of them to get all the way to level 68. However, I do not recommend it. I think it would take about 9,000 gold worth of coins to even get enough to where it would truly be worth it. Me, myself, I will have about half a level worth of coins just so I can get that half a level, get a little bit ahead of the game, turn in the rest of the quests that I have already completed and available for when TBC launches, and get right around level 61 so I can jump right into instances and start grinding my way to 70. Now, as you can see right here, I'm sending the materials that I just purchased over to my investment banker alt, which I will make a video on how to effectively make banker alts. I highly recommend having more than one account if you don't already, but you can do it with one account as long as you have room for at least one more character. Some people are going to invest a lot, but that's not everyone's forte, and some people can probably get away with just having their own typical banker alt. I recommend having a few so you can store them for longer. And that's about it for today's video. If you guys learned something, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment anything you guys would like to see in the future, and follow me on Twitch and Instagram at official_Albertson. Have a great day and get prepared for TBC.